let's move on to the next topic, which is about exploring social influences as an opportunity for enhanced collaboration and application of social network analysis in undergraduate research community from Ms. Chavisa Tiansu.
Sorry, the slide is not updated.
Sorry for inconvenience, so we have like a couple minutes to update the slide. Thank you.
So due to the little technical problems, we will have to pass on to the next presentation first. So the next presentation is about clinical scoring. Excuse me. Next presentation is extracurricular activities, social support and rest on 3 dimensions of burnout syndrome among preclinical medical students in Chulalongkorn University, a cross-sectional study from Ms. Lita Tantipraphat.
Greetings everyone, my name is Lita, a first-year medical student from Chulalongkorn University. Burnout is shattering the dreams of countless medical students every day. That is why we are proud to present our research, extracurricular activities, social support, and rest on the 3 dimensions of burnout syndrome among preclinical medical students in Chulalongkorn University, a cross-sectional study. Have you ever felt like you are running out of energy? Or disconnected from your work and people around you, or if you feel like you are failing? If you face all 3 of this, you are considered burnout. According to Burnout Inventory Student Survey, or MBISS, burnout are categorized by 3 main subdimensions, which is high emotional exhaustion, high depersonalization, and low personal efficacy. And the MBISS is a 7-Likert scale, which the cutoff point is shown in this slide. And we also observe that many people in our faculty spend a significant amount of time doing various types of activity, for example, sports, music, arts, volunteer, and management. So the objective of our study is that we're trying to examine the correlation between the number of hours doing extracurricular activities and social support from friends and family, and also rest, like sleep time and private time, with the MBISS scores in each subdimensions. For the methods, after we design our questionnaire using Google Form, we distribute the online questionnaire via online platform and also in front of class. And for statistical analysis, we use independent and peer t-tests to test between 2 groups that about mean difference, if it is significant or not. And when we try to test between more than 2 groups, we use the ANOVA. And we use Spearman correlation coefficient to test between 2 numerical data, which is not a normal distribution like the time doing extracurricular activities. and all of this was conducted using SPSS version 22.0. For the results, the first one shown the percent of female and male in this respondent from 289 respondents, and we can see that the female respondents had a higher rate of burnout than male respondents. When we try to compare in each subdimension, we found that the first two subdimensions, which is emotional exhaustion and depersonalization, female has significantly higher score than male, while the personal efficacy show no difference. When we compare by different medical years, we found that the higher medical year have a higher rate of burnout, with the first two categories of burnout being significant between year 1 and year 2 and year 1 and year 3, which is emotional exhaustion and depersonalization. The next one is the scatter plot illustrating the numbers of hours doing sport-related activity on the x-axis and the scores in the 3 dimensions of MBISS in the y-axis. And we found that for emotional exhaustion and depersonalization, it show a negative correlation, while the personal efficacy is show a positive correlation. And it means that doing sports can lower burnout in 3 subdimensions. And in the bottom of this slide, it show a Spearman correlation coefficient, which is all significant. The same trend could be observed in the total numbers of hours doing extracurricular activities per week. And this is the Spearman correlation for them, all significant. The next one, when we compare between the adequate and inadequate social support from family, we found that 2 groups had a significant different score between emotional exhaustion and depersonalization. The same trend could be observed from the adequacy of social support from friends too. And also, the analogous trend could be observed from the adequate private time, which means that the social support from friends, family, and adequate private time could lower burnout in the emotional exhaustion and depersonalization. However, sleep time can reduce burnout in all 3 subdimensions. And for discussing, the number of hours doing extracurricular activities, social support from friends and family, and rest are all significant negative correlation on emotional exhaustion and depersonalization scores. But for personal efficacy, only extracurricular activities and sleep time are correlated, which just means that all of these factors can reduce burnout. And our study had 2 strengths. The first one is that we try to quantify number of hours spent doing extracurricular activities rather than a yes or no question. And we try to correlate score of burnout on a range, not just a single cutoff, which may fail to take into account how the severity of burnout. We have 3 suggestions from our study. The first one is that medical schools should aim to offer extracurricular activities, and curriculum design should keep the work-life balance in mind. And initiative interactions between students and their friends and family is really important. And for limitation, most of our respondents are studying year 1, and a cross-sectional study may not take into account how burnout may change over time, and the preclinical year are not as much exposed to clinical experience. Our take-home message is that burnout is a sign that something needs to change, and we hope that our presentation today can guide how we can change to ensure the well-being of medical students. Thank you.
May I receive the question from on-site session?
Thank you very much for such a nice presentation. I'm just wondering if the administrator at Chulalongkorn come to talk to you and would like to hear your opinion about practical suggestion that can come into real actions from the faculty. What would you suggest?
For the suggestion is like as I mentioned from the previous slide, and the first one that I want to do for the interventions is that I will like get the result, come back to respondents, and our faculty has the program MDCU Let's Talk with the psychiatrist, and psychiatrists can help students. And also for the extracurricular activities, we can like choose the field that we want to improve and trying to initiate new programs in the future. And as my faculty can initiate new events by the students themselves, and we can also consult for professor, I feel that this research can impact in that one. Yeah. Really, thank you for your questions.
Thank you for your nice presentation. I think it's very important now for everyone involved in medical education that we have to care about the burnout. But I would like to ask for your next plan of this research, because you mentioned that your limitation of the study is you only survey in preclinical year, and do you have any next plan for extend to clinical year students?
Yeah, I have a plan to extend to the clinical year and also like residence or internship too, because I think that maybe the work circumstances may be different, and we can ensure that the time that they do extracurricular activity and the types of extracurricular activities also keep the work-life balance in mind. It's really important to take all of this into consideration.
Another question, your study mentioned only about the results of the burnout or subdimensions, and do you have any like qualitative aspect about cause of this burnout, or any suggestion plan of the burnout students that what are they want the faculties or any peers to support them?
Like for the qualitative, we have the number of students who suffer from burnout in each subdimensions, and like I believe that we can improve.
Excuse me, that is the end of your presentation. Thank you for interesting topic.